The setting is Heart Gold. Once you start, don't let your mom save your money. Play the game normally until the very end. After completing all 8 gym leaders, head through Victory Road and defeat your rival. Once you're staring down the chance at victory, it's time to entirely ruin your chances at winning and trap you at the gates of completion for the rest of your tiny little pixelated life. Take all your items and throw them away. Spend every last Pokédollar to your name. Pick up every hidden item along the way and chuck it. Release all your Pokemon except a weakling of your choice who can't learn any useful HMs. I chose Abra, and you'll see why in a second. Lose a battle or teleport back to Indigo League. Save, and you're now entirely softlocked. Here's the situation we found ourselves in. Abra is too weak to win any wild battles to evolve even a single level. Only knowing teleport, it's impossible to gain any experience in Victory Road. Even if we somehow make it through Victory Road without fainting, we will inevitably reach a point where we need strength to continue on, leaving us unable to continue any further. There's no trainers at all in the Heart Gold and Soul Silver Victory Road, leaving us with only one other way to go, through the Elite Four. The only chance to earn money, which is impossible since the very first and only Pokemon you'll ever encounter blocking your path is a Xatu who will kill you in one hit with U-turn. This battle is completely unwinnable, and we only have one Pokemon, so we can't trade with anyone either. Now if you're a hardcore Pokemon fan, you might realize the hidden reason why this softlock is so devious. In the original Gold and Silver, there's an NPC in the Indigo League who assures this could never happen. An old man with an Abra who will teleport you back into safety. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the man is here, but when you speak to him, he says no one needs him anymore, since everyone just flies these days. You are now trapped forever next to the one NPC designed to save you, but he simply won't.
I have like some Pokédollars left. I gotta have a few Pokédollars left. I have an item to sell. I have an item. I bought this nugget. You can sell this nugget. Got some apricorns from Kurt, I think, left over. I could probably sell a few of Kurt's apricorns. Where are my items?
Welcome to the world of softlocks. Hidden in the postgame of Sinnoh, there's a softlock that requires 2 trades to end your game. First, get someone to trade you a Finneon. Assure that throughout your playthrough you've never picked up any of the fishing rods. Teach Finneon Surf and make your way to Route 226. Once you get off, you've now set foot on the last ground you'll ever touch. When you step into the lone house on the island, you'll see a man in the corner, and he will propose to you a trade. Your Finneon for his Magikarp. As soon as the trade is completed and you scribble in your notebook what just happened, you're now stranded. Magikarp only knows one move. It can't learn Surf, making it impossible to leave this piece of land. If we haven't picked up any of the fishing rods, it's impossible to get an encounter and cause our Magikarp to faint. No encounters, no more Pokemon, no way out.
Finneon! Fuck you, Finneon!
There are tons of different NPCs in the original Red and Blue who are actually extremely dangerous when it comes to softlocking. On Cinnabar Island inside of the Pokemon Mansion, this one NPC here can almost completely softlock your game. To make this as difficult to escape as possible, we're going to attempt it with a full team of level 100 Pokemon. We have no escape ropes either. Once we find this NPC, we have to push him sort of. In these old games you could slightly persuade an NPC to change direction, and we can make him walk into this specific spot, into this corner by the table, once he's in the right position, and wait for him to spin and walk over. Right when he does, we need to initiate a battle with him. As soon as we do, we have now put this save file in an extremely frustrating position. This NPC will not ever move again, so we're completely locked to these 2 tiles. But we're not completely stuck. Every escape exit is blocked, but we can still move our character by one single tile at a time up and down. Luckily, there are still wild encounters here. We are now going to have to feint every single one of our Pokemon to escape, one at a time until we are free. But with very high level Pokemon, attempting to escape this is just insane. First, we'll have to exhaust the PP of every single move we have. We can make use of poison and bide turns using the Pokeflute or switching Pokemon, but no matter what, this will undoubtedly take hours. Let's see what happens. That took me 9 hours. Why did I do that? Did all that for what? What's happening? I don't know. What am I doing when people like this? 9 hours. What am I doing? What did I do that? Why did I do that? The setting is Pokemon Yellow. This softlock is extremely simple to perform. Start a new save file and walk outside your house. As soon as you do, you'll see an NPC right here that sort of follows a loose path. But like you saw in the Pokemon Mansion earlier, we can sort of dictate an NPC's movements by nudging them in one direction. This one will take some more time than before, and is definitely a little bit difficult to get them in the right spot. But after just a few minutes, we can push the NPC into the wild grass up here. If you walk up, Oak will come and stop you and bring you back to the Pokemon lab like he's supposed to. Wait a minute, I fucked up. Okay, hold on, I have to be on the other, one sec. If the NPC is on the right side of the grass, nothing will happen. But if you move the NPC to the left side, they are now blocking the tile you're supposed to be on, which means the game will now throw you parallel to Oak, rather than behind him. So as you can see, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm already walking through some shit I'm not supposed to, and now instead of going in the door with Oak, I'm gonna get stuck right next to him between the wall and never start my adventure. Be trapped inside the texture of the Pokemon lab forever. Unfortunately, we can't open our menu or save here since the game thinks we've done the impossible, even though it's unlikely a kid would have saved by this point anyway. So a simple reset could fix this. But for some reason, we're just gonna chill here endlessly. Damn. I'm stuck in a building. I wonder what else is possible. Some soft locks are easier than others. Find yourself pressing the wrong buttons, and you'll be stuck indefinitely. For Japanese players, an extremely simple but well-hidden soft lock was 3 button presses away, and here's how to do it. The setting is Pokemon Black or White. After completing the first 7 gyms, you'd be on your way to finishing the game. But before you do, you have to fight one of the more difficult gyms, the Dragon Gym Leader Drayden. On your way there, there's a single tile that is actually glitched. Many players have ran right past it, but it's right here, and it's deadly. Pressing A on it wouldn't do anything, and you can't walk on it either. It seems like it's a part of the out-of-bounds area, but by going into your party and manually using Surf, you can surf onto this single tile. Now here's what's interesting about it, is as soon as you do this, you're immediately soft-locked. There's no way to feint your Pokemon, and teleport doesn't work here. You can't step back off into the gym either, even if you try using manual Surf. You're entirely stuck. The only way to save yourself at this point is to turn off your game and reset to your last save file. If you were to save while on this tile though, your entire cartridge and save file is now trashed. You will never leave this spot. You are now soft locked on a single tile. Surfing forever. Pop in a cartridge of any Generation 1 game, play through the story as usual. As you take down trainers, try to save your money, make frequent stops at the Pokemart and buy as many items as possible. Once you arrive in Pewter City, take down Brock and buy something else. Start heading towards Cerulean, and pick up as many other items as you can on your way. When you get there, challenge Misty, and at this point you should have a full bag of items. You'll gain the ability to use Cut outside of battle. You won't technically get the HM till later, but we will never reach that point. Instead, get someone to trade you a Pokemon with Cut. We are now 1 minute away from entering a world where time stands still. Right below the gym is a tree. Cut it down and follow the path towards the burglar house. A Team Rocket member will be waiting to challenge you. Once the battle is over, he will try to give you a TM, but if you filled your bag all the way to its max capacity, you won't be able to receive it, which means Team Rocket will hang out here forever until you have the space in your bag. Normally the NPC blocking the door right here would disappear after this battle ends, but since your bag is full, the NPC will just stay here, which means you can go through the house, walk through the front door, and the game will force you backwards a tile, leaving you completely stuck between the NPC and the inside of the door. You could reset and fight Misty if you want, or you could save right here and softlock yourself indefinitely. The only way out now would be to fly, but we don't have that yet, do we? You can make conversation with the NPC, but after a while, it'll get pretty boring. He keeps saying the same shit over and over, and you can't speak a word. Now, it's just you and your thoughts. A clouded mind with no actions, no more story to tell. You must now accept a world of constants. Everything in this reality is now the same. You as the player are the only character that has the ability to change anything at all. An echo of silence covers the Kanto region. No NPC will ever speak again, except this fucking guy. The next gym will be waiting for a challenger who will never come. Team Rocket won't make any more plans, and Pokemon will never be caught again. It is now the same day, over and over, for the rest of time. Unless you want to delete your save file and start over, that's up to you. But I don't think I will. There's no need to throw away any items or Pokemon in this one. Even an escape rope or Pokemon with Dig or Teleport can save you in this softlock. In the Trick House, Room 4, it's possible but very difficult for you to accidentally arrange the strength boulders in the incorrect positions to trap yourself forever, leaving all exits blocked, with no escape. The most commonly known softlock in this place is in the Japanese version of Pokemon Emerald, but when I found the layout of the room changed in every version of Gen 3, I decided to see if it was truly possible to softlock yourself in every version of these games. That includes both the Japanese and English versions of Emerald, as well as Ruby and Sapphire. First, let's do this in Japanese Pokemon Emerald. In order to lock yourself, you have to arrange these boulders into a very specific spot, which means one wrong push, and you have to start over. After these specific movements I'm doing now, in less than a minute, you're now softlocked. It's funny to imagine the chance of someone accidentally doing this, considering how difficult it is, although it would still be entirely possible that one little kid 10 years ago made this mistake. His precious Elite Four team and everything he dreamed of would be gone forever. No matter what you try, you're stuck in this tiny room, with maddening fucking music for eternity. Now in the international versions of Emerald, you can see the layout of this room has changed. There's a wider area of open space right here, and after numerous tries of trying to replicate what just happened to us on the Japanese version, you'd think this softlock would be impossible. But no, there's another hidden softlock prevention feature in here that also doesn't work. Watch what happens when we follow the same steps as the first time. Keep your eye on this single boulder here. As soon as it leaves our field of view on our screen, it returns back to its original position, basically resetting the softlock and resetting our steps to doing it. So now not only do we need to rearrange the boulders into the softlocking position, but we have to assure that they don't disappear off our screen. Difficult, but certainly not impossible. Even more interestingly though, this mechanic is also in Ruby and Sapphire, and in order to softlock ourselves, we actually have to use it to our advantage. But I'll explain that later. If we keep it in our field of view by going this specific route, yet again, we can effectively ruin our game forever. Trapped in this one spot. This time we've trapped ourselves in an even smaller area. Great. Now, let's do it in Ruby and Sapphire. As you can see in every version, the room is slightly different, but that doesn't stop us from trapping ourselves. Either they completely failed, or maybe the developers didn't even have time to make sure of this. With the room being different each time, that'd be a lot of tedious work, especially with this fucking music. What's so interesting about this lock is that, like I mentioned earlier, we actually have to use the boulder resetting mechanic in our favor. By moving the boulders to these positions, similar to before, since this room is different from the others, we could normally get out right here. But resetting the boulder to its original state, it actually allows us to push it right where it's supposed to be, without losing our spot. The only way to escape now would be to reset and revert to our last save, but instead, we are going to save. For the third time, we are now forever in the trick house, with nothing to save us, 3 games ruined. These save files are now unplayable. Pokemon are a thing of the past. You'll never see one again. All you can do is walk around in circles. Maybe call someone on the Pokegear. Check your trainer card. It's up to you. You're here now, till the end of time. Stuck forever. Listening to the worst fucking song you've ever heard.
Help! I'm stuck! It doesn't go! Softlock.
Without a doubt, the easiest place to softlock yourself in the entire Pokemon series is Phineasroebuck Town in Generation 3. This place is almost designed to softlock you, and we can set one up in less than a minute. By flying here and entering and exiting the Pokemon Center, then flying to Mauville City, we can drop off our Pokemon with Fly in the daycare, and leave ourselves with a single Pokemon who cannot learn neither Fly or Surf. Then all we have to do is faint in a battle, and we've completely ruined our save file. We'll wake up in Phineasroebuck Town. Since fishing rods are optional, not picking one up would seal our fate forever. Unable to get an encounter, unable to continue any further. But even if you do pick up a fishing rod, there's no Pokemart here to buy Pokeballs, so if we had none, we would never be able to catch anything to help us escape. Stuck on this tiny island forever. But there is one single Pokemon who cannot learn Fly or Surf but can break us out of this island. Without any HMs, this one Pokemon can break the unbreakable Softlock, but not without many hours of pain. First, we need to head to Meteor Falls and catch a wild Solrock. These have a 5% chance to hold an item that's key for what we're going to do. After this, I'm going to hatch our special Pokemon, drop off our Pokemon with Fly, and knock ourselves out. We will wake up, now trapped, in Phineasroebuck, but we have the one Pokemon who can save us. Oddish. There's no encounterable Pokemon on this island, but there is one other way to acquire one single other Pokemon. There is a lone trade, a Blossom for a Corsola, who we can then teach Surf and break free. The only problem is our Oddish is level 5. It doesn't evolve into Gloom until level 21. With our old rusty fishing rod in hand, we have a task ahead of us, to battle our way to freedom, one Magikarp at a time. After 100 fishing encounters, I was at level 14, 9 levels and 3 hours later. What was surprising to me is not how terrible it is to battle these Pokemon over and over, but actually getting the fishing encounter itself. It would often take 5 tries or more to get a single bite, making this take much longer than it seems, especially with such little experience points gained each time. But in our situation, there is quite literally no other way. $224 fishing battles and 5 hours of in-game time. I finally did it, though that doesn't even seem like much. Somehow the droning motion of using Absorb at least 600 times non-stop for hours left me dying to do just anything but that. I ran straight to the NPC's house and accepted my trade. The glory I felt of my Corsola jumping out of the ball. Somehow this trade animation seemed so beautiful compared to the 5-hour battle simulator movie I just watched. Walking over to the edge of the water, not to fish, but to be set free. I've never been so happy to see the simple question of would you like to surf? I took one more glance back and surfed into the sunset. To where? I don't know, but I'm sure as hell not going back there.
Make room for me.
But why do any of this? Why trap yourself forever? What's the point? We abuse the mechanics of these 20-year-old games and spend our time searching for something. Something unattainable? Something difficult to find? That most people would call crazy? I think it's something deeper. I think these games meant something to us. As kids, we all have this universal love for Pokemon that most of us don't even understand. Most of you watching this right now are all grown up, just like me. What do we still love about Pokemon? How much did it affect us as children that we're still here right now, in this moment? I often think about being a kid, trying to remember what it was like putting that cartridge in and feeling happy. I still hold on to this. I strive to feel that every day, with whatever I'm doing. This feeling of comfort forever lives in my memory. A time where I could feel like what I was doing was all that mattered. And it was. And maybe it still is. I remember when I was a kid looking into my DS. It felt like the only thing that mattered. Maybe sometimes a memory's worth treasuring. Maybe it lives with us in some way. Maybe the past and present aren't quite as they seem to be. We're still that kid in some way, deep inside. I don't feel very different. Do you? Maybe we brought something with us to now. Or maybe our whole lives are happening at once. Whatever it is, maybe it doesn't really matter. 'Cause here we are. And maybe that's okay.
Hey, I'm stuck. Does anyone have a tentacle? Heard something. I could learn surf, maybe. That'd be pretty nice. Does anyone have a tentacle?